predictions 3 weeks ahead of the actual playoff. These are just my predictions. I didn't do like the most likely scenarios or not. Maybe I'll do that in another video, depending on how many videos I want to make on this. But let's see. So this is just how I would have it playing out. Broncos win the division. Chargers get the 7 seed. Chiefs, Raiders already eliminated. Nobody cares. Dolphins, Jets, all the eliminated teams. Colts aren't eliminated, but I don't have them making it. Phillip Rivers, it was against the Seahawks defense, but I just don't think don't got it no more. It's true. Unfortunately, I wish it was different, and the Colts fall off is kind of crazy, but we've seen it happen in the past. The 2020 Steelers are a perfect example of that, but still kind of sad what happened to the Colts. They have a chance if they can beat the Jaguars. They'll be at home, so that would make it more interesting, but anyway, not going to have it. So I think that these are the teams that most people, this is like the most likely AFC scenario. Yes, the Steelers are the front runners for winning that division right now, but I think everybody knows that they're probably not going to win the division. Everybody thinks that the Ravens are still better, which on paper, of course they are, but all the Steelers really need to do is not lose to the Browns. If the Steelers can beat the Browns, then basically smooth sailing. I both had them going 8-9 because I had the Patriots beating the Ravens, but the Ravens would have the division lead. So anyway, that's how I have the AFC looking. So AFC playoffs, Ravens, Bills. This is a tough matchup. Can the Ravens pull it back to look like the old Ravens? I don't think so. Personally, I think that the Bills, last week they showed that they always get off to slow starts, but when they need to, especially in the second half, they'll pull away and they'll win, especially their offense. I mean, now their defense play like ass too, but I don't know. The Bills are an interesting team because it just seems like they just suck in the first half, and in the second half they just demolish them. Though I just don't trust the Ravens. That's the main part about it. Should be a pretty good matchup, but I don't trust the Ravens. And especially the Ravens, the playoff Ravens. Yeah, I don't think so. Jaguars, Texans. I'm going to take the Texans at home. Could be interesting. The Jaguars are a very inconsistent team. And they look very good, especially against the Jets. But case in point, the Jets. Texans, best defense in the league. Yes, the Broncos have the most sacks, but sacks aren't really the biggest statistic. Like, look, the 49ers are the 1 seed, and they have the least sacks. Myles Garrett has more sacks than the 49ers have. The entire 49ers defense. Myles Garrett has more sacks, and they can get the 1 seed. So, obviously, sacks aren't that important. And yeah, the Texans also don't have that many sacks either. It's just that the rest of their defense, corners, safeties, all of that, they're just, yeah, if we want to look at interceptions, then they're probably number one. I like the Texans defense more than I like the Broncos defense. And the Jaguars can turn it on. They've showed when they have to, but I don't know. It's just, I think that I'm going to try, especially the Texans at home. The Jaguars were at home. I debated a little bit more, but Texans at home is an easy pick. Chargers, Patriots, not as easy as a pick. I don't know. It's a rough one. The Patriots are at home. I'm going to take the Patriots just because of what I said. I think that teams who play in a stadium who have to play in the cold outside do bad. A perfect example was Panthers Rams. The Rams play in a stadium on turf, so they don't have to worry about cold, freezing temperatures on real grass and mud and all of that. They can just play luxury football basically. But teams like the Patriots, Steelers, the Panthers aren't really a good example, but Packers, Bears, you get what I mean. They have to play in the rain, they have to play in rough weather conditions. The Chargers don't have to do that. So if they have to go to New England, I'm going to trust New England to kind of, struggle it out. They're going to pull it off somehow. saying who's the better team, I don't know. I like the Chargers defense a lot more than I like the Patriots defense, but the Patriots home field advantage definitely gives them a good advantage here. Rams Bucks, we can argue the same thing I just argued with the Panthers and the Rams. The Bucks play outside. The Rams do not, but I do not trust the Buccaneers. That's if they even make the playoffs. Oh yeah, I should talk about this first. Yes, I have the 49ers getting the 1 seed, 13-4. Obviously, NFC West is the best division minus the Cardinals. Yeah, I the 49ers I just have pulling it out. Realistically, the 49ers can get the 7 seed, but I don't know, it's a tough division. The Seahawks can get the 1 seed too if they so all three of these teams can get the 1 seed. So can the Bears, but I don't see it happening. Packers 7 seed, the tie is not going to happen. I don't have the Lions making the playoffs, which could be surprising to some people, but I just think that it's a little too late for them to do it. Bears Packers are basically already in the playoffs. Eagles pretty much have this by now. I was generous with the Cowboys giving them 9 wins and they still can't make the playoffs. The Cowboys need a miracle at this point. I think they could still win the division, but they'd have to count on the Commanders to beat the Eagles twice, which isn't going to happen. So, yeah, the Cowboys had a chance, but George Pickens let them down tremendously. And then Buccaneers, Panthers both going 9-8. Why the Buccaneers have the tiebreaker, I'm not sure because they're both 3-3 in their division. But the Buccaneers have the tiebreaker. I guess when it comes to this, it probably comes down to records last year. I'm not sure about that. I could be really wrong here. But yeah, if it's like a scenario like this, then how would you they have the same record and the same division, so I don't know. All of the teams split here, which doesn't shock me. Um anyway, yeah, I have the Panthers Bucks splitting. I don't know. I think the Panthers could actually do better if they make the playoffs. The Buccaneers have the more explosive offense, obviously. I don't know. The Panthers, they just know how to win at home. Seahawks, Eagles. I'm actually going to take the Seahawks away. Uh, Eagles, another team I can't really trust, especially against the Seattle defense. We'll see what Seahawks offense comes to play, but the Eagles just aren't the team that won the Super Bowl last year. They're just not the same team. They showed that, especially against the Chargers. I actually trust Seattle's offense more than I trust the Eagles. Being at home, that's interesting because that swaying me towards the Eagles a little bit more. But I don't know. It's just I'm gonna take the upset here. I'm gonna take Seattle. Bears Packers. I'll take the Bears, which could be surprising to some people because the Packers are Super Bowl favorites. But I think it just depends on how this division plays out. If the Packers are the 2 seed and the Bears are the 7, Packers are at home in this game. I'll take the Packers because I think these teams are so similar. I actually like the Bears offense more than I like the Packers offense, but defenses I'd say are pretty similar. Packers without Micah Parsons now is going to be a problem. I don't know. The Bears offense is just something about it. It's the Ben Johnson offense. It's just something the Packers don't have. Could the Packers win? Sure, but I don't know. I'm going to take the Bears. Okay, divisional round Texans, Patriots. I don't know. I'm going to take the Texans. The Texans are basically like the Patriots, just +1. Yeah, I know the Texans had a really slow start to the season, and their CJ Stroud had a rough start. Their offense looked like crap, but I don't know. It's just something about they caught fire. They caught wind. Their offense looks dominant. Their defense looks like the best in the league. You can't say that about the Patriots. The Patriots look good. They should have beat the Bills, and they did beat the Bills in previous weeks or in a previous week. I don't remember what week. I think week 7. But the Patriots beat the Bills, and the Patriots should have swept them, but they didn't, and they choked. And there's really not much I can say about the Patriots offense that I can't say about the Texans offense. Both offenses are pretty similar. Patriots might have a better run game. Actually, might. That will piss some people off. The Patriots have a better run game, but I trust the pass game on the Texans more than I trust the Patriots, and I trust the Texans defense more. Both teams play outside, so we won't have to worry about any of that going on. Broncos, Bills, two teams that also play outside. Like I said, when you're making bets, always keep that in the back of your mind. Yes, just because the Saints playing a dome. Just because the Jets and the Giants play outside doesn't mean that they're going to beat the Rams. But it's just something that you should always keep in the back of your mind. I don't know. I'm going to trust the Bills to win. Will I? I don't know. It's just hard because the Broncos, they just don't seem that good. But after last week against the Packers, they really did show that they can have an explosive offense when they need to. The Bills are just a more experienced playoff team. Both these teams played in the playoffs last year, actually, in the wild card, and the Bills dominated them. Broncos did not have home field advantage, though. But I'm going to take the Bills purely off playoff experience, which I know is you can't really do that. You can't look at past matchups because it's two different teams. But I don't know. Maybe I don't have faith in the Broncos, but I'm just going to take the Bills. I trust them more in playoff experience. That's it. Rams, Bears, tough matchup. I don't know. It's in January. It's going to be cold. I'm actually going to take the Bears, which is probably shocking to a lot of people. But like I said, the Rams could have a cakewalk. If the Rams get the 1 seed, I think all the teams are cooked. They have home field. If the Rams have home field advantage throughout the playoffs, they're going to make the Super Bowl, no doubt. But if they have to play away teams, they they don't perform as well. And look at the teams: Bears, Niners, Seahawks all play outside. Yeah, the Niners are in Santa Clara, so that's like a 50-50 because Santa Clara, the weather's not that bad. But Seattle and Chicago, the Rams are not going to be happy with that. Their explosive offense is going to turn into a pretty shitty offense. Rams defense is still pretty good, but still, I'm gonna trust the Bears to win that. Uh, Seahawks, Niners. I'll take the Niners at home. I think we kind of own the Seahawks a little bit when we're at home. If it's in Seattle, then it's a different story. But still, like I was saying about weather, it's nice in Santa Clara. Um, Seattle. I mean, yeah, you can say that it's nice, so the Seahawks will also. So I think it will be a shootout because it's in Santa Clara. But even with a shootout, just look at the 49ers offense of the past. Like the 49ers can put up 40 if they really need to. They still have Brock Purdy. They still have they don't have Debo Samuel. George Kittle, you get what I mean. Their offense is still really good. I'll trust them to beat Seattle. All right, then we have the championship rounds: Bills, Texans, and Bears, Niners. Bills, Texans is an interesting one. Texans home field advantage. I don't know. I think just the Texans caught wind. They're on fire right now. I can see them just running the table right here because we always knew the Texans were this team. They just looked so bad in the early season and nobody really knew why. But they're catching wind now. CJ Stroud looks good again. If CJ Stroud can go back to freshman CJ Stroud, get their run game going a little bit more, their defense is playing amazing. They can 100% beat the Bills in a cakewalk game. Bears, Niners, if it was in Chicago, I'd debate taking the Bears. I'm going to trust the Niners. We can talk about playoff experience again. Yeah, I know that this could be considered bias because the Rams have more playoff experience than the Bears. But like I said, it's going to be the weather's going to be so bad in Chicago. it's going to be a defensive game. And I trust the Bears defense more than I trust the Rams defense. But in Santa Clara, the weather is going to be nice. I think the Niners have more explosive offense. All right, so now we have the Super Bowl, Niners-Texans. I think it's a pretty good Super Bowl. I don't know. Um, it would be pretty crazy if the Texans just went on a run and just didn't lose starting now or starting week 16. They just go and win every single game, including the Super Bowl. I don't know. I'm a 49ers fan, so it would seem kind of biased if I picked the Niners, but I don't know. This is a tough matchup. I'm going to take the Texans. I don't know if I can bear to watch the 49ers lose in the Super Bowl again. That would pain me so much, but just too many injuries. Like, it's sad, but it's true. We've had just all season, the Niners have been plagued with injuries. Yeah, we still have Christian McCaffrey. That's going to be the big factor, is that the run game, which is important, but you can't really run it against Houston, and you can't pass it against Houston either. Defense wins championships is a statement for a reason. So I have the Texans running the table. The Texans are going to win the Super Bowl this year. So let me know your predictions in the comments below.